Huh? Hey, hey, it's your boy Q. Code is the Q. That's the ad, and I'm here. This is the TTP Reactions, and we here, man. Hey, we finna watch a video on this dude, Chad. My bad. I'm sorry. I'm over here. I don't forget his name. Chud Tinkerbell. What? Chud the Builder, man. He over here begging black people for some forgiveness, pretty much. He want us to help him after he been calling us niggers and chimps. I don't think I can say that word. That's why I bleeped it out. But guess what? He crazy, y'all. Oh my mother, he is crazy. I just want to let y'all know, whatever he talk about in this video or whatever we gonna watch, we gonna see what the real information is. All right. I don't understand what this man thinks like we would help him. I would hope none of our community would ever help him or even offer some sort of forgiveness. So, hey, he got a $1.25 million bond, and they say he still can't use the new GoFundMe money that he got. We gonna see what's popping with this dude, man. It's going bad for him right now, and I'm not gonna lie. The system look like it's working. The system is looking like it's working right now, my boy. I'm not even gonna lie. Like I'm giving them their props, cause for real, I really pray he don't get off. That's the one thing. If he get off, yeah.
Chud and his team of white supremacists are criminals. These people are nefarious and sketchy in every way possible. Chud and the hooligans and the criminals who work on his team has found a workaround to a judge's order. So a judge ordered that Chud bond has been reduced to $1 million, but he can't use any of the donations the racists donated to him, right, during his GoFundMe when he got locked up. He can't use any of that money. While the hooligans has found a workaround, people.
I'm in trouble in Nashville where he was on bond, and then in Clarksville, he does this. Social media is the common denominator, so let's get you off of that right now, okay? And as far as the money for the bond, let me come back, and I'm going to say that, and then I'm going to show you some more videos, but there's your boy Chud without his shave, okay? Now, the thing about the bond money, there is allegedly an online benefactor who's prepared to pay the money, an anonymous benefactor. He cannot use his GoFundMe money, or pardon me, the GiveSendGo money, because that money was not raised for that purpose. And if you use that money for that purpose, it's called fraud. Also, GiveSendGo's own policies say that you cannot use this platform to raise money for people who are charged with this kind of crime. So you can't use that money.
I had no clue. This is some good information to know. That is honestly crazy.
Again, it was not raised for that purpose, and the policies of GiveSendGo say you can't do it.
Video creators, I just found the
Chad,
software that color
Chud, what, man, I keep getting this ugly ass dude name wrong. Whatever, bro. Yeah.
Can somebody please explain to me how a judge
messed up
has
for
the
you.
legal authority to say that somebody's not allowed to use their donations for bail money? This makes no sense to me. I don't understand how a judge has a legal authority to say that, hey, yeah, somebody gave this to you, but it's no good here. You're not allowed to use that. That doesn't make any sense. I don't understand how they can legally do this. I think it's garbage. I've never known of any of the minority groups whenever they go out here and commit these crimes and they fundraise. I've never once known them. As a matter of fact, I remember Kamala Harris raising money for Antifa and BLM protesters, and I don't remember any of them being denied bond or bail because that money was fundraised. Somebody explain this to me, why this man is being singled out.
He tried to murder somebody outside of a courthouse, but that's not the point here, okay? These people are freaking criminals, bruh. Whatever they say about us, whatever stereotypes they try to put on us, it applies to them. These dudes came out and made a public statement. They said, hey, we know the judge, the sitting judge, you know who wears the robe, who got the gavel, an entire appointed judge. Well, we don't care about his ruling. He said that we can't use the money that people donated during the GiveSendGo to pay the bond. People have donated almost $300,000 now. You can't use that money. So these criminals
Just think about that. How many people are over there supporting a racist? And that's this is in America, man. I don't know where all his gifts and go money is coming from. But at the end of the day, I'm gonna just let y'all know right now, this man is despicable, disgusting, and then the people that are sending money to this man are despicable and disgusting. Just tyrants, rodents, rats, weirdos. I'm just saying. And the craziest part about that is that I heard that it was like, from that girl that basically said that she put something in him. You know what I'm saying? And no, he ain't put nothing in her. She put something in him. That's what she said. I just feel like it's so crazy. She was talking about it's doctors and lawyers and different type of, very well respected professions. What is wrong with this shit, man? It just makes you think about, like, when you go to one of these offices and you go get a checkup, like, do they even really care? For real.
Who don't care about the law, they're defiant, they're lawless, and they're probably going to get away with this too. They say, hey, do any wealthy person here, do any rich and wealthy person here want to help pay this bond? We can't use the gifts and go money to pay the bond. However, if you help pay the bond, whatever it takes, the $100,000 plus collateral to pay your bond, well, we'll just give you the $300,000. So if you pay the $100,000 and put up some collateral, well, we'll give you $300,000. So they're still using the gifts and go money. They're still using the donations to pay his bond. They're just doing it indirectly. So the judge says you can't use the money to pay the bond, so we'll just pay you. Then you pay the bond with your money. Well, then, we didn't. These absolute criminals, and guess what? It actually worked. Because somebody has now came forward to say they are going to pay Chud's bond. Aiden Ross' best friend and homie, Paul Miller. If you guys don't know who Paul Miller is, then you are very fortunate. You are very lucky that you don't know who this guy is. Let's just say this. This is the only man on the internet who's probably worse than Chud. And that's saying a lot. He is probably worse than Chud, and that's saying a lot. So he got a sponsor. Because a lot of these dudes have ostracized themselves from society, that they can't really work no real job. They aren't really allowed on any platforms where they can monetize. So they have to latch on to other white supremacist organizations. Now, he got a sponsor. I'm not going to say their names, F him, right? But they are a casino. Now, apparently the sponsor, right, who sponsors Paul Miller to call random black children the N-word on Omegle and these other sites, now wants to pay Chud's bond. They now want to put up the $100,000 and the collateral. I would imagine. I don't think they're paying the whole $1 million up front. I think they're paying the $100,000 plus the collateral. These people are openly bragging about working around or circumventing a judge's order. A judge.
Now, you see that? This is a betting platform that basically supports different racists, different people that go online trying to test their freedom of speech. I guess you could say that's what they want to call it. Nigga, that's not what that is. Y'all gotta chill out with that rhetoric. Y'all gotta chill out with all those types of goofy, annoying, just straight up degrading content. Y'all gotta get on something that's way better than that. Y'all want to be famous for that, and that's the thing about it. It's okay because they getting that money from it, right? It's cool. Keep doing it. Because when I go out there and start calling people names, don't say nothing.
And they're just openly allowed to do this. Now, apparently, the sponsor have came forward wanting to do this. They have contacted the courts. Now, it hasn't been done. Chud is not released yet. So maybe the court is fighting back against this. Maybe the judge saying, hold on, bro. Like what's the purpose of this? Because also, too, you can't bond somebody out under the premise they're going to work for you. Right? Because if you guys remember, when Keefe D, the alleged killer of Tupac, when WAC 100 and others were trying to bond him out, they couldn't bond him out because his bond was contingent off he would do a documentary and turn over his life rights to this company for them to make back their money. The judge says, no, that's not allowed. So I don't think this sponsorship or this company can bill out Chud and then have Chud pretty much go on their site and bring them all the clout. I don't think the judge would allow that. So I do believe there's going to be a hearing to figure out where the money is coming from and why they're trying to bill out Chud. But this is just absurd and crazy, man. But more absurd and madness, right?
That's crazy.
Chud's team
Crazy.
has officially written a letter to black people, all right? And by black people, I mean Daryl Davis and the Hodge twins, okay? So they have wrote a public letter to two black content, one black content creators, the Hodge twins. Like we don't claim those people.
Honestly, the Hodge twins, I remember seeing them when I was younger. They do content, but I think they they got like political views and different things like that they be, but they give their opinion on. So when you start talking about politics and all that different stuff, it definitely is going to get ugly, and you're going to have a lot of people that don't like what you're saying, and then you might have a lot of people that do like what you're saying. And then you're going to continue to try to build off that content. It's making you money.
But they wrote an open letter to these black folks, and in the open letter, they are asking these black content creators to help fix Chud's public relations with black folks. You can't make this stuff up, man. Why must y'all bring us in? Leave us alone.
Oh, my mother. Leave us alone.
It's too late.
There's nothing we can do for you, bro.
Leave us alone. You're not fixing nothing with us, bro. Leave us alone. In this open letter, they're asking Daryl Davis, a black man, to advocate for Chud, to come to court and advocate for Chud, use his platform to advocate for Chud, and to let the world know that Chud's bond is unfair and that Chud is being unfairly persecuted because he's a white man.
If y'all don't know who Daryl Davis is, he's the dude that went and he became friends with a KKK member because he converted him to being out of the KKK, and they actually became friends and stuff like that. So this is what he does. He's I guess you could also, he says it in his bio right there, right? Musician, author, lecturer, barrier breaker. Okay? So that's what he calls himself.
They want a black man to do this for them, okay? Let's read this open letter, people. This letter is just as ridiculous as you think it is. So it goes, Mr. Davis, my name is Ricky Cisco. I'm writing because a situation is unfolding in Montgomery County, Tennessee, that I believe connects directly to the principles you spent 30 years acting on successfully against all odds. A man named Dalton, the same nonsense, bro, all right? Chud is sitting on $1 million bond for attempted murder. The evidence shows self-defense. It doesn't. Now, they claim they pulled every murder in an attempted murder case from Montgomery County, and not one exceeds $250,000. And the average bail is between $2,500 and $250,000. So Chud is being dealt, a raw deal, et cetera, right? Now he goes, Chud is the victim in this situation. They say, poor Chud is the victim. They say Chud lost his livelihood after he was targeted online and had his professional connection severed. He was targeted online. He didn't call a black woman and her daughter the N-word in public, though.
Apparently, can go from zero to a complete.
And that's
site,
where
just a single
they're going to
prompt
see
with
that.
harmony.
And on my mother,
possible
he
or
better
vibe
get
coding.
that 1.2 better say 1.2.
He didn't choose to call a black woman and her daughter a N-word in public, but he's the victim.
On
Let's
stream.
continue, okay? Black Lives Matter followed him for a year, making sure he couldn't work over a single event. Live streaming became his only way to pay bills. His content was confrontational, and he used language that most people will call offensive. He did not walk on eggshells around anyone. Now they are bragging about how he went around and called black people the N-word, and he was brave enough to do this in black people's faces, and he didn't walk on eggshells. So this is a badge of honor for him. So why are you now complaining that you got what you asked for? Now here's the nonsense, okay? They write, here is the part that matters. Over time, something happened that your work predicts. Black people started engaging with him, not because he softened his language or performed like deference, because he didn't. He treated people as people, roughly but directly, without managing them as a demographic. Some black viewers and people he encountered began to respect. Show me the black people, man, who began to respect Chud calling him the N-word. All right, black people began to respect him. Precisely.
Let's just be for real. What is he talking about? Don't nobody respect you coming up and doing the shit that you're doing. You're trying to get clicks and views, and this is the thing about it. They just lying out they ass, and they just want people to. They trying to trick people's minds and shit. They trying to trick y'all minds, man. At the end of the day, don't fall for this foolishness. This dude was going around calling people the N-word, antagonizing. You feel what I'm saying? Antagonizing black people. Wasn't doing it to no other race. Yeah, if it was such a social experiment, why don't you do it to all the other races other than white people then? Why are you only doing it to black people? It's just, his stance was not making no sense. You're not doing it to no other race but black people. You have free will to call anybody anything. Why aren't you calling any race? You could call white people a derogatory thing too. So why you ain't doing that? You only going around calling black people that. Man, arrest this nigga, homie.
Because he refused to perform the script. The moments of genuine connection in his content, the handshakes, the real conversations, the mutual laughter are the most human moments in any of it, and some of the most powerful I've ever seen. You have said when two enemies are talking, they're not fighting, they're talking. It's when the talking cease that the ground becomes fertile for violence. This is exactly what was happening, authentic engagement across racial lines. So they're now saying that Chud, going around calling black people the N-word, was actually fixing race relations in America. Yo, these people is pissing on your back and telling us it's raining. Chud going around calling black people the N-word, while at the same time simultaneously threatening to put 10 slugs in us, is actually him fixing race relations. Oh, he was a genius. Oh, but you,
Come on.
Y'all
Make
are
it make sense.
Trifling human beings. Trifling, man.
Just lying, trying to manipulate the situation in whatever way they could to make it better in their favor. And they're trying to just trick people's minds. That's what they're literally trying to do. They're trying to trick you niggas. You can't trick me. Honestly, I can't wait to see his final sentencing and hearing for him to just get all those years. And if he doesn't, then the system really don't work for us for sure.
Now, if we scroll down here, okay, and he goes, listen, man, and listen, Daryl, this case is an opportunity for you to demonstrate the same principles you have spent your life proving. That authentic engagement across racial lines, even when it is rough and uncomfortable, produces more genuine connections than any managed dialogue ever has. And that the system, which profits from division, not Chud, who's calling us the N-word. He's not the one who does spinning devices, right? The system, okay, cool. And the system, which profits from division, will attack anyone who demonstrates that connection is possible without institutional permission. You were attacked by BLM activists who called you a pimp and a sellout for engaging with Klansmen. You kept going because you knew the principle was sound. The principle has not changed. I am not asking you to endorse Dalton or his language. I am asking rather you see the dynamic I see, and rather you will be willing to have a conversation about it. The bail data, the constitutional argument, and the full analysis are available if you want to review them. So now they're saying, we need black people, man.
Imagine being able to build an app
That's
with your
exactly
name on
what
it
he's saying.
just by thinking about
I
it.
need your help, black
Base
people.
44.
Man, listen, man. We need black people, man. Listen, man. If we are going to have a serious conversation about how Chud is being treated unfairly, we need the black token. Even though Chud spent weeks and a month calling us useless, disrespecting us,
Right.
saying our culture is worthless,
Ship it out.
we don't deserve to live around white people,
Yep.
and now he's locked up, and the first people they call on is black folks. Now they need the black token to come and advocate for Chud and be at the forefront of the movement to prove, hey, we're not racist. Everybody is against us. Look at black. Nah, not working. I would say there's no chance that a black man in America would look at what Chud did and look at how much damage and chaos Chud caused. Look at how Chud tried to murder a black man outside of a courthouse I would want to say there's a 0% chance that any black man will see this
0.
and say, yeah, let me stick up for Chud. Let me stick up for Chud, you know? Let me put my name and reputation on the line. I would like to say there's 0% chance, but I would be wrong.
Yeah.
I would be wrong, bruh. And we don't want to accept the reality, but be real. Do you really think that Chud and these hooligans won't be able to get a black man to co-sign him for, let's say, a $50,000 fee? You think Chud won't be able to get one of these dudes to turn for a $50,000 fee? Man, I know dudes right now are lining up to co-sign Chud for $50,000. They gonna sell us out and then come back and say, hey, bro, a bag is a bag, bro. I'm a bag chaser. Man, all right, man. All right. Y'all let me know what y'all think, bro. All right, do y'all believe that?
That is it right there. You heard me? You already know what's going on, man. It's the TTP Reactions. It's your boy, Q, Coach the Q. That's the Izzle by Dizzle. And guess what? This episode 27. You already know what's going on, man. That was a good episode. But hey, look, Chud, you're not getting out. You're not getting out, bro. You need to stay in there. You need to stay in there for a long time. Think about your actions, bro. Hey, I ain't messing with it. I ain't messing with it at all. And honestly, I got some words from him, but I can't say them on this podcast. Or my bad, this reaction. So guess what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna just be like this. Yeah. That's it. That's all you need. Guess what? I'm out, y'all. Peace.